What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's aftermarket trade recap. Today was a no news Monday, so I did not trade on any combine accounts or anything like that. Just a paper trade for today. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, the one thing I noticed last night when the futures had opened is that we created a new week opening gap. Was trying to hope that we did not fill it within the AM or like the London and Asian sessions. And so this morning, which I wasn't on for long, I woke up like half asleep, checked the markets real quick, ended up falling back asleep. And then I saw we were continuing we rushed up at 9:30 and then we were starting to downtrend down, which is when I wanted to hopefully see that we would fill the new week opening gap today. But I was pretty confident as once we started disrespecting a bunch of buy side PD arrays that we were going to eventually at least tap into it, and then we did fill it for the rest of the day. And then we delete that real quick. So then I did get on around lunch session, wanted to start marking out some areas of interest to see. Saw that we had this 15-minute, and once 1 p.m. around once 1 p.m. open, we were in this 15-minute. I wanted to see us respect it, and then I did want to see us go lower. And then this is where my entry comes in. We created this SMT up here. As you can see, ES kept making higher highs while NQ was continuing lower. And then we had this 2-minute fair value gap here that I wanted to see inverse. And then, of course, when I had inversed it, I was out of the room, so I did not get my entry, which originally would have been here. And so I ended up entering around on this third candle once we started to come back up and I could get a better entry. Now, obviously, for the sake of replay, I'm not going to get that entry, but there's nothing I can do on that. So, yeah. So on the third candle here, I'm going to go in for 2 cons on ES. Since this was a paper trade, I just done a random amount of contracts, but it was basically like where I could take off half here and then the full amount here. So yeah, I'll just stick with 2 ES contracts. Short here. Stops at about 18.75, which is a little higher than what I've been doing, but again, it was a paper trade, so it's not, nothing I don't mind doing. It's a little bit more points than that. And then final TP down at this 15-minute sell side that we had, and then the first TP take off at this 5-minute inefficiency here. And then going on to the 1 minute to let it play out. How much is 3x speed? Okay, actually, yeah, I'll just click it out. So came up a little bit before continuing lower. Had a change in state of delivery here. Break even at this point here. So let me move this down. Basically break even. And then we ended up continuing lower. I think at this point it had formed. Yep, or no, it hadn't formed yet. But we were looking to form a 3-minute fair value gap. And then around this time, literally once we had created these equal lows, I looked at ES. And again, this is something that I've been doing last week too. I think I'm just becoming more aware of it now to like realize when I'm in a position. But now we had an SMT for the opposite side. So again, I was already break even at this point. I actually think I was even around like 100, around 100 in profit stop by this point. Once we had continued lower and or yeah, no, once we had gotten to down here, I think it was. But then I was waiting to see us with these equal lows. Once I saw that we created these equal lows, I wanted to see if we were going to soup the equal lows and then not close lower, or if we were going to close lower and push through. And depending on what I had seen there, that is what I was going to do. So now we had this 3-minute fair value gap here. Tapped into it. We respected it, but we ended up souping the equal lows and not pushing lower. I think it tried a little bit again right there. Yep, but didn't get the close. So once I had seen that, this is when I had started to move my stop lower, which was like around here. Check one thing real quick. Was it on the 2-minute or the 1-minute? Yeah, so then I think it was just about here And then the only thing now that, or then we tried it again to, or I mean, it's not really souping the lows. Soup the low here, and then we soup this low. That was nothing actually. So, but now I wanted to see us soup this high, which we did, but then we pushed right through it after. At this point, I didn't have much hope. I was pretty sure we were going to get stopped out in profit, and that is exactly what happened here. Now, continue and it did continue to inverse this 3 minute, but then, and again, this is why I don't really trade no news Mondays, because I cannot talk. But as you can see, we inversed it, but we didn't respect, and then we continued lower, and we just like absolutely dumped down to the 5 minute. And yeah, so that would have been like first TP there. But see, I mean, for the rest of the time, let me just fast forward this, close out. For the rest of the time after that today, tapped in the 5 minute, respected it, came down. It was literally, if you look at like a 15 minute, yeah, look how like it's just choppy. There's nothing going on within a 15-minute time frame. So that is exactly why I did paper trade today. But I mean, I'm pretty happy still with how it turned out, I guess. I mean, I'm not really like happy, but it was like a good setup, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. But tomorrow we do have news. So hopefully, setups can present themselves this week and we can have a good week. So yeah. Besides that, that's it for today. Hopefully I'll see you guys sometime this week. Peace out.